Welcome back. Tonight we take you into the frozen and terrifying landscapes of Iceland, a land known for its breathtaking glaciers, volcanic mountains and endless nights in winter. But behind the postcard beauty lies something darker, something that whispers through the blizzards and hides in the white silence. Imagine a horror movie set here where the icy winds slice through your skin and the snow buries not only the land but also secrets no one dares to speak of. Our story begins with a group of young filmmakers from the USA traveling to Iceland to capture the northern lights on camera. They rent a remote cabin deep in the snowy wilderness far from the nearest village. The locals warned them that people who go too far north in winter sometimes don't return, but the group laughs it off, believing it's just superstition. When night falls and the aurora begins to dance in the sky, strange things start happening. At first it's small unsettling details, footsteps in the snow when no one is outside, whispers in a language they can't recognize, and the distant ringing of church bells. Though the nearest church is more than 50 miles away, the group brushes it off as tricks of the mind caused by exhaustion. But Iceland's winter has a way of breaking down sanity. The cabin they rented is old, made from black volcanic rock and driftwood. The windows rattle constantly as if something wants to get in. One of the filmmakers, Emily, discovers an ancient symbol carved into the wooden beams of her room. It looks like a mixture of runes and strange spirals. When she asks the old man who rented them the cabin, he simply says it's for protection against the draugr, the undead spirits that roam when the snow covers the earth. The group dismisses it until one night they hear scratching at the door, followed by heavy, slow footsteps circling the cabin. The snowstorm outside howls louder, but within the sound there's another voice, low, guttural and inhuman. As the days go by, their equipment begins to fail, batteries drain within minutes, cameras refuse to record and GPS devices spin in circles. The isolation becomes unbearable when one of them, Michael, vanishes after stepping outside to film the aurora. They find only his tripod buried in the snow. No footprints lead away from it, only deep claw-like marks dragging toward the frozen lake. The group panics, but a blizzard traps them inside the cabin. They try to call for help, but their phones only pick up static and distorted voices whispering their names. This horror movie would capture not only the physical dangers of Iceland's winter but also its folklore. The draugr, restless spirits said to guard treasures and punish intruders, become the central antagonists, their pale frozen bodies rising from the snow, their hollow eyes glowing with the light of the aurora. Each time one of the filmmakers goes missing, the northern lights blaze brighter across the sky as if feeding on their souls. The visuals would be haunting, beautiful colors dancing above while terror unfolds below. Tension builds when Emily finds an old diary hidden under the cabin floorboards. It belonged to a family who lived there a century ago. The final entry reads, "The snow is not snow, it is ash and bone. We hear them outside, they want us too." From that moment the group realizes they are not the first to vanish here. The movie would descend into pure survival horror, with the dwindling survivors fighting to keep the fire alive as the draugr close in. One by one the survivors are dragged into the storm, their screams swallowed by the wind until only Emily remains. She tries to flee across the frozen lake, but the ice cracks beneath her, and in the reflection she sees the glowing faces of the undead pulling her down into the freezing abyss. The final shot lingers on the aurora, shimmering above, calm and beautiful as if nothing happened. A horror film like this set in Iceland would stand out because of its chilling natural backdrop. Unlike dark forests or haunted houses, the enemy here is the endless snow, the storm that hides horrors and the silence that amplifies fear. It combines nature's cruelty with folklore, creating a story that feels both ancient and modern. It would be perfect for fans of atmospheric, slow-burn horror where isolation, paranoia and mythology come together to create dread in every frame. Imagine the frozen vastness of Iceland captured in stunning cinematic shots, then slowly twisted into a nightmare that no one can escape. This winter Iceland horror movie would remind audiences that sometimes the most beautiful places on Earth hold the darkest stories, and when the snow falls too heavily, perhaps it's not just weather but something alive, something waiting for you in the white silence. Would you like me to create a part 2 continuation where Emily's fate reveals a shocking twist, maybe the aurora itself being a supernatural force feeding on souls?